Hello, YouTubers. This is the author, and we are on chapter 13. This is going to be an exciting chapter. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Lots of action, if you like action. Alright, here we go. Well said, young Joshua, well said, said Mr. Garrett. The Demon Lord sits on a throne and awaits his scouts. I have to say about 3 heroes. One of his soldiers reports in. Tell me, Worm, what are those 3 intruders doing right now? Well, sir, the lesser demon says, it seems they got through the bog unscathed. The human boy was the one that led them through. That boy is getting extremely annoying. I've got 2 things that would love to meet him and kill him. Worm, go and fetch those 2 to take care of them. Oh, and please tell them to save whatever is left for a present for the princess. The Demon Lord does an evil laugh. The Demon Lord walks down to the cell where the princess is kept. Queen Aricia can see the Demon Lord coming, so she puts her head back down. Well, Princess Queen, I can't believe it's been 2 days since you got here. You only got about 2 days left before you can fight me anymore. And that makes me wonder, what will you do? Will you take a chance for love? Or destroy yourself? But I do prefer you try and wait for your hero. It would be most enjoyable to see your heart crushed when you find out he died trying to get here. I just wanted to let you know that I sent my best beast after your hero and your friends. Ursula looks at him with disgust. No matter what you say, I know Joshua will come get me and get out of here and get rid of you. That's good, Aricia. Keep having faith in that boy. That will make all the better when I crush him. Aricia looks at him with even more disgust. Princess, this is unbecoming of a princess to look at me that way, with such hatred. Aricia screams out, Joshua, watch out, 2 bad things are coming your way. Oh, I see, you can talk to him, but I can't be telling him everything. It would spoil the surprise. The Demon Lord says with a laugh. Joshua wakes up again hearing what Aricia said. So goes and wakes up Serenity and Mr. Garrett and tells him what Aricia said. Mr. Garrett says, let's get this straight, Joshua. You can hear what she says when you sleep. Joshua says, yes, but only when I'm asleep and when she is talking to me directly. Wow, Joshua, that's amazing, said Serenity. You must have one amazing bond with each other, which I'm kind of jealous of that, but also thankful. Alright, kids, let's keep going, but let's keep an eye out for those 2 evil demons that are supposed to be coming after us. Joshua and Serenity, it's the 3rd day and we need to pick up the pace. Joshua and Serenity and Mr. Garrett pick up the pace and start moving quickly towards the Demon Lord's castle. Serenity flies up above the trees and could see what looked like the castle. The Serenity flies down to Mr. Garrett and Joshua. Boys, I can see it, Serenity said. It's the castle where Aricia is being held. Joshua clenches his fist. You know, we are almost there, and I will see you soon, Aricia, Joshua says to himself. Mr. Garrett asks Serenity, so, is there a lot more woods up ahead? No, Serenity says, it's just a big open field leading to the castle. Mr. Garrett says, well, that's just great. Sounds like a perfect place to have a battle. And since it's open, there will be nowhere to hide. I would have to say to Joshua and Serenity, this is an invitation to a fight. If we want the fastest way there, Joshua says, well, Mr. Garrett, Serenity, let's not keep them waiting. Hold on, Joshua. We will get to the edge of the forest. Let's stop and rest and eat to make sure we are well rested for the battle ahead. Mr. Garrett says, you're right. Joshua says, you're right, Mr. Garrett. I am kind of hungry. Joshua and Mr. Garrett says, well, we need to recuperate before the final battle to get Aristia back. I have a feeling this is going to take everything we got. Serenity says, yeah, we can't be dumb about this, Joshua, and smiles. The three, knowing there is only about 3 hours from the checkpoint. Joshua starts running. I hope you can keep up, Mr. Garrett. Mr. Garrett does a little chuckle. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I'm slow. I can keep up with you young people. Serenity says, really, boys? After all this time, now you want to joke around? Joshua laughs. Well, we might as well have some fun since we're heading to almost certain death. Frankly, boys, I don't see the humor. Joshua and Serenity and Mr. Garrett were running through those woods, jumping over rocks and over bushes. Serenity just flew up because she has wings. Joshua asked Serenity a question. Why are we running so much? Serenity, how can Aristia fly with no wings? You know, Joshua, I don't know, but if I had to guess, it was because she is the queen of the dream world. I mean, people fly in their dreams all the time, so at very least, she can, I guess. Serenity smiles at Joshua. You ask some crazy questions. Joshua, since we're asking questions, Serenity says, what is your father like? Serenity, I don't know a whole lot about him. I know he loves God and he has a little temper. He also likes to sing karaoke a lot. He is really nice and really smart too. You see, Serenity, due to my memory loss, I can't remember anything until I was 5. Even when I look at pictures, I can't remember the person in the picture wasn't even me. Joshua, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's okay, Serenity. I guess my brain thought I didn't need those memories. The only thing I can remember is when I was 3, I think I was at least, my big brother giving me a turtle at the apartments to play with. Then a mean boy takes the turtle away and keeps it for himself. I tell my brother what happened to the turtle, and he goes and gets the turtle back for me. Then my big brother says, don't bother me anymore, or I'll give you a knuckle sandwich. Wow, Joshua, you had a really loving big brother. Joshua laughs. Oh, he has his moments, but yeah, you're right. I do have a good big brother. He just wants me and my little brother to be stronger. That's all I get out of it. My little brother is a lot like me in a way. Joshua, can he come with you next time? I want to meet him. Well, I don't know if it will work or not, but I'll try, okay? Alright, boys and girls, we are almost to the checkpoint, Mr. Garrett said. There it is, Serenity said. I can see the clearing. Joshua and Serenity and Mr. Garrett all stop when they get to the edge of the forest. Joshua head up to the trees. Joshua and Serenity says, let's go find a perfect place to rest tonight. Mr. Garrett signals for Joshua and Serenity to come down from the trees. Joshua and Serenity come down in a hurry. Joshua says, "What is it, Mr. Garrett? Is something wrong?" "No, Joshua, nothing is wrong. I just wanted you guys to know that if you kids wanted something to eat." "Of course, Mr. Garrett, I'm always ready to eat," said Joshua. Mr. Garrett smiles. "Well, I got something good for us to eat. I kept in one of my big pouches." The first thing Mr. Garrett pulls out is a pouch in a bottle of apple cider. And then he pulls out a loaf of bread. It smells sweet like honey. Mr. Garrett did a little laugh. "I thought since this might be our last meal, we better at least eat something good. So I thought apple cider and honey sweetbread would be good, and it also has blueberries in it." The three heroes sit down to eat their one good meal on the trip. Mr. Garrett starts a fire with some flint he brought along with him, just in case. Joshua asks a question. "Mr. Garrett, wouldn't a fire alert where we are at?" "Yes, Joshua, but that doesn't matter now. They know we are on the way, and they won't provoke an attack until tomorrow, because that's what they want, to waste as much time as possible." "And attacking us might cause us to move forward, and that would be bad for them." "Joshua, can you tell me more about your world?" Serenity asked. "Sure, Serenity. What do you want to know?" "Okay, Joshua, where do you learn things?" "That's easy, Serenity. School. That's where you learn things." "Yes, Joshua, but how?" "Reading lots of books about different things." "Joshua, what's a book?" "Oh yeah, you people don't have books. It's like a box with hundreds of scrolls in it." "That sounds cool." "Joshua, I wish I had a book." "Serenity, when did you learn the word cool meant?" "Aristia told me what it meant in your world. It didn't make much sense to me at first, but we practiced for a couple hours, and we could say it and it doesn't sound weird anymore." "Joshua, are you happy I know one of your words?" "Yes, I'm happy, but I hope I didn't mess up your guys' vocabulary." Serenity asked Joshua all kinds of questions about the world he came from. It started getting late, and Joshua says, "Serenity, I think it's time to rest." "You're right, Joshua, and thank you for telling me all those things about your world." Joshua says, "Well, let's call it a night. We got a lot of things to do tomorrow." Serenity says, upset, "Joshua, how can you just say it like there's nothing's gonna happen? Don't you know we can die tomorrow? You act like it's no big deal. Why do you act this way?" "Serenity, listen, there is no point in stressing over if it's our time to die. If it's our time to die, then we die. My dad taught me, as long as you believe in God, you don't need to fear death." Serenity. "But no matter what happens, Serenity, I will protect you so you can see your best friend Aristia again." "Joshua, how are you so strong?" Serenity asked. Joshua says, "That's easy, Serenity. I fight for what I believe in, and I never give up, no matter how impossible it is." "Then Joshua, I will be believing you, okay, Joshua?" Serenity smiles. "Thank you, Joshua. I can sleep now." Joshua was a little confused. "Well, you're welcome, Serenity," Joshua says with a smile. Joshua and Serenity and Mr. Garrett all go to sleep. Joshua wakes up really early in the morning, sleeping only about 5 hours right before the sun comes up. Joshua looks at Serenity and Mr. Garrett sleeping. Joshua clenches his right fist. Joshua says to himself, Serenity, Mr. Garrett, I have to be brave. I don't want you guys to get hurt. I am sorry, but I have no choice. I promised Serenity that I would protect you and her. This is the only way I know how. Joshua gets down from the tree and takes one last look at Mr. Garrett and Serenity, and then walks out into the open field. When Joshua was walking across the field, it was almost as though he could smell death in the air. Joshua really did smell something. It reminded him of a dead animal, but worse. When he got close to the middle of the field, he could see what appeared to be two very ugly-looking men. The two men stared at him as he got closer. In the demon lord's castle, the demon lord looks through a crystal ball and laughing evilly. The demon picks up the crystal ball and walks into the dungeon where Aristia is being held. The princess lifts her head up at the demon lord. The princess was very weak. She was using all of her strength just to stay awake. The demon lord put the crystal ball in front of her. The demon lord laughed. You see, I told you I would let you watch him die. Ain't I a nice guy? Or what? Oh, don't worry. He has a chance of winning. But when he's done with them, he will be so weak I will crush him like a bug. Very faintly, a small voice comes from Aristia. Hurry, hurry, Joshua. She screams out loud for one last time. Joshua immediately hears her voice and goes running towards his enemies. Joshua pulls out his sword and gets ready to fight. One of the two demons makes a loud hiss noise and runs towards Joshua. By this time, Joshua's heart and the sword are one, and both glowing in a bright yellow. The demon does a loud roar like a lion and swings his sword at Joshua. Joshua swings his sword at the demon sword to counter. Joshua looks over at the other demon who has his arms folded and stands there and watches while they fight. Joshua thinks to himself he must be the stronger of the two. When Joshua connects swords with the demon, he can tell that this was not going to be an easy fight. It made a shock wave which blew back the dirt around them. Joshua stayed on his guard, blocking strikes as they were swung at him. The demon was totally insane, screaming and laughing while attacking Joshua. In the meantime, Joshua was keeping an eye on the other one. The demon was fighting with jumped back and swung his sword down hard and sent a wave coming towards him. Joshua tried to parry it, but when the wave connected with the sword, it pushed Joshua back about 3 feet. The demon finally speaks. Oh, did you like that? Allow me to entertain you some more. They call me Dalo. I am the demon that loves and enjoys killing people. You know that person that runs around killing a lot of people? That's me. And my friend over there is called Nether. He's what you call a patient killer. Or you could call him a serial killer. Unlike me, he likes to take his time torturing his victims. It's not fun if you ask me. I'd rather just rip them apart. Yes, that sounds like a lot of fun. Now, your name is Joshua. Are you really human? Yes, I am. I was born human. Yes. In the other world, like everybody else. How come you two are so strong? I'm only fought one other demon that had enough power to push me back. Listen, meat. You're in our world now, so we are stronger too. We wouldn't stand much of a chance out of the dark forest, but here we are much stronger. Anything else you would like to know before you die? Yeah, what makes you think I'm gonna die? I have enough strength to beat you both. The other demon says, Joshua, I love to hear your confidence. I will enjoy killing you. There is nothing better than a prey that fights back. Joshua says back, you two are nothing but monsters. Nether says back, thank you for the compliment, but I'm afraid monster is an understatement. We are creatures behind every nightmare, every evil thought in your dream. That's what we are. And by the way, Joshua, where are your two friends of yours? You know, that's who I wanted to kill. Them first, so you can watch them scream and holler before they died. I waited there hoping they would show up, but I guess you left ahead of them. Nether says, well, that's fine. I'll kill them both soon as they show up. Wait, even better, I'll go find them. Ha ha ha. Joshua says, wait, no. Nether says to the other demon, keep him busy while I execute his friends. Dalo says, with pleasure. Nether dashes off towards Joshua's friends. Then Joshua dashes off after Nether. But following behind Joshua was Dalo. Joshua was getting kind of frustrated. Dalo jumps way above Joshua's head. Dalo comes down on Joshua with tremendous force. Joshua looks up and sees him about to hit him. So he jumps up to the side to dodge. Then, while Joshua is in the air, he releases his frustration by gripping his sword and looks at the demon and says, goodbye, monster. Joshua swings his sword down with a lightning bolt strike. In a flash, the demon did one last scream and it disappears for good. As soon as Joshua finished his attack, he felt a lot of pain hit his stomach. Then Joshua could see his body going the wrong direction. He looked down and could see the dirt he was hit. Joshua hit the dirt and bounced like when you skip a stone on water. But this time Joshua realized he was kicked really hard. Of course, the stone doesn't skip forever. Like the stone, Joshua came to a crashing stop. Joshua was scraped all over his body and was scraped all over. He can feel his body burning all over as well. It was hard for Joshua to stand up. Then he remembered why he got hit. He was chasing after another. When he got sneak attacked, he heard Serenity scream out, Joshua, is that? When Joshua heard that, Joshua jumped up and ran as fast as he could towards Serenity and Mr. Garrett. Then Joshua heard Serenity, you're not Joshua. Joshua's heart started beating really fast, and all he could think about was that he can't let that demon hurt Joshua's friends and his Serenity and Mr. Garrett. You can't let that happen to them. Joshua started glowing and he started moving at a speed he has never moved before. He can now see Serenity and Mr. Garrett between the woods and the field. And he can also see the demon about to attack them. The demon lunges forward at great speed. Even though he is about 100 yards away, he can be there in seconds. Joshua yells at Serenity, I'm coming. The demon pulls out his sword and now only 20 feet away and about to swing his sword down on Serenity. Joshua puts his hand on his heart. No! No! Joshua's speed increases even more, and he rams into the demon right before the demon blade hits Serenity. After the demon hits the ground and rolled, he got up quickly. The demon says angrily, "How did you get so fast? It's impossible." Joshua says, "I don't care," and runs at him with blinding speed. "Don't hurt my friends!" Joshua sliced through the demon several times to where it looked like 100 men fighting the demon. In a couple seconds, there was only one. Joshua standing while leaning on his sword in the ground. The demon looked at Joshua with his mouth partially open. Then his eyes go back, and the demon falls to the ground and disappears in the ashes. Joshua falls on his back, tired and still beat up from the first attack he endured during his fight with Nether. Joshua really wasn't sure how he gained that kind of speed and power. Joshua was back to normal other than cut up and bruised. By that fight with those two demons, as Joshua laid there resting, Joshua heard someone walking up on him. Joshua opened his eyes and can see a brunette with wings staring at him. "Joshua, you stupid boy, but thank you for saving me, and Mr. Garrett, you kept your promise." Serenity walks over and picks up Joshua. Serenity says, "Joshua, I got some ointment for those bruises and cuts. It will at least help with the pain." Serenity continues, "After we get patched up, we can go ahead and go to the castle to finish this." "That sounds good to me," Joshua says. Mr. Garrett makes it to where Serenity and Joshua are. "Well done, my boy. I knew you could do it, but you better take it easy until we get to the castle." Serenity smiles, and Joshua points at the castle. "Let's go." That was the end of chapter 13. I hope you like it so far. We're getting near the end. So subscribe if you like it. This is Jardreamstory. Bye bye.